tonight from the wonderful world of sim racing. We've got the GT Champions World Cup Division 1 for their ground. This is round 5, and in it we have a lot of the High Bricks boys. This is going to be presented to you live by Sim Race City, and with me it's Greasy Squatch, who you'll be seeing at the top right before the race has started. It's about to start, so take it away. Tell us about you. Let's just drive with you, my man. Go.
Well, this was the start. I got a great launch off this start here. I was trying to stay out of my teammates, Frogs, and I believe Roses was the other one up there. Bunch of real fast guys in front, just trying to keep the nose clean on the cold tires coming into these first few corners. Heart was racing at this point. It always does at the beginning of these races. But I had a moment coming up and a little bit here after this straightaway with Natu.
Yeah, Natu
right here, I believe I said
bit.
I said right here, settle in, long race.
Get settled in here, long race.
Everybody was getting pushy. Sharky was looking for a move on me in that corner.
Yeah, especially on the first lap, everybody wants to distance themselves from major trouble, from spins, from first race, from
but
first
right now,
turn.
This is where it all happens right here. Natu gets checked up.
Okay.
And these next two corners, everybody gets checked up. I see Natu get sideways. I go for the move. He doesn't catch it, and I get put into the wall.
Oh.
Damage was taken.
Yeah, yes, I see the yep, you got it right there.
Now the thing for me was, do I pit at this point or do I drive out the damage? Natu made the pit and ended up winning the race. I drove the whole hour with the damage.
Yeah, those are decisions that you got to make at the time, because then again, remember, there is a lot of time lost in the pits. And in my opinion, Gran Turismo did this back in Gran Turismo Sport. They were literally very natural according to the real racetracks. And for some reason, somebody in Polyphony Digital, they said, like, you know what? No, man, no, those pit stops are way too short.
Yeah.
Put it like really, really long. It
I
makes
like
no
the
sense.
idea of it making realistic for the most part. And this track was one of the ones I probably should have pit on, because it is a shorter pit lane in this one. Not like Spa last previous round.
Spa is ridiculously long.
Oh, it's insane.
Okay, so we're in lap 5, and you're after Ando. You're carrying your punishment, your pain, but you're still hanging on. You're in 7th position.
Yeah, that's where Sharky crashed right there.
Sharky,
at this point, I was just trying to hang on to Ando. Ando had the pace on me. I had the damage, so I was just trying to stay with him and keep the slipstream for the most part and have him pull me along at his pace. Because without anybody in front of me, I was a little slower.
Yeah, and you had a decent lap. I mean, gap from the guy behind you, 1.2, keeping up. Now it's coming 1.3. So he's definitely you're getting away, even though you've got your damage. You're still on the fight.
Yes, I wasn't giving up at this point. It didn't seem like enough damage just having the front end damage. I think it was just front end and the left front wheel I had damaged. I did notice it a little bit, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't killing my times that bad. Put it that way, I guess. But
yeah, and at this point, you're 15 minutes into the race, and I remember your comment saying, it's only been 15 minutes and this is so intense. And that is absolutely true for those of us who have raced and crashed and run off the runoff. Going into the complete runoff with the in this track, for example, you'll pay the price really fast. It's always intense. It doesn't give you a breather. That's what I'm trying to say.
that's exactly it. You go off the track here, you drop a tire, you spin, you go in the gravel, it sucks you off. There's no room for error here, really. I did have a big moment in this race where I did a 360-degree spin save, kept it on the track, and kept going.
So that's actually before Sterling turn, I believe it
That's the corner.
Yeah,
If you're
right
going to
before-
drop a tire and spin, that's the corner you're going to do it on.
Yes, but yeah, at that time we saw lap 18 right now. We saw bipolar just kind of going off the kind of go off the track, and in the lower bottom by lap 20, you've got Roses beating you to the fifth for P5, so he puts you down on P6. Tell us your thoughts about this. What's going on here?
My thoughts were there with the damage and just preserving the race again. Ando was starting to pull away from me, and Roses was reeling me in. So I thought, you know what, let the teammate go by, use him for the slipstream and everything again, and just run my race with what I was given with the damage at the beginning. I was just, almost lost it there, but I was basically just trying to maintain my race. That's what I was doing.
Right, I may have missed something because of my old age. I'm sorry to cut you off, but how did you were in 7th, and before Roses took over, you were in P5. What happened? Was it like bipolar went off the race? What happened right there? How did you climb those 2 positions?
Sharky was one of the positions. He went off, crashed, and I think it was bipolar. Somebody else went off the track as well too. All the positions I gained in this race weren't by passing anybody. It was just by people going off the track.
Yeah, well, that's another way of gaining positions.
It is. If you stay consistent, you can keep it on the track and maintain a decently quick speed, not ridiculously Natu and Sharky fast. You're gonna do okay. It's all about the consistency. If you look at my lap times on the right side, I'm in the 130s, and all of my lap times are very close together. Oh, there's the spin.
Oh, yeah, right before Sterling.
Chat gave me a 9.5 for style points on that one.
Oh, I'll give you a complete 10. Like, I'll raise my little board, because that was a hell of a good save and no further damage.
That was a big thing. No further damage. But Natu, he was on fire in this race. That guy is just so fast. So
Yes.
fast.
And he's a very new guy. Now in lap 35, you got Jake. He was in first position. Frogs, our Hyprix Frogs, was in first place, entering pits now.
Yeah, he was on the alternate pit strategy. He started on the softs, and I don't think that was a good move.
Yeah, I made that mistake in the first round of GTC right before I pulled out, and boy, did I pay dearly for it.
Yeah, you really do. It's so hard to be on the back foot on the wrong tire on the second half of the race, and then the second half of your race, you're looking in your mirrors the whole time, and makes it even worse.
Yeah, because everybody's gonna take you over. No matter how good you manage those tires, it's gonna happen.
Yep.
Sonny, you better believe me, boy. It's gonna happen to you. So now you're pitting here in lap 40, coming from mediums to softs. How much fuel did you take in there? Yeah.
I probably should have took a little bit more. I'm terrible with my fuel. I can't do math sitting still at a desk, let alone driving. So
Same here. Same. See, okay,
well,
for
I had
you.
to fix the damage as well too. But yeah, I took a little bit of fuel. We didn't need much in these BMWs. It was pretty easy to save fuel with them, but had to fix that damage and then get back out on the softs.
You didn't short shift at any time, not that I noticed.
Oh no, this thing you short shift. To get the power out of this thing, you actually shift it at about 6,500 RPM, 6,000 RPM, whether you're saving fuel or not. There's quite a few cars like that in Gran Turismo where you got to short shift them to get the full power out of it.
Yes, I would say the Supra is one of those cars. Would you
Supra
agree?
is definitely one of them. Corvette, I think, is another one.
Yes, Corvette. I found
I can't
Corvette
remember
to be
that
one of the biggest savers of fuel. If you go between, let's say, 61 to 65 RPMs or 6,500, you're gonna find that you can roll with that car, save all the fuel you want.
Yep, that's what my downfall was in that Ferrari race at Spa. I should have been revving it less. I was revving it too much for the speed that I was going. So I should have been either revving it all the way out and going full buck, or toning it down and maintaining the speed that I was. So that's where I figured out my problem at the spa race on that Ferrari. I just didn't. I wasn't shifting it properly.
Okay, so now we are in lap 45. You took your fixing and your new tires and your questionable fuel capacity. And now you're pursuing bipolar. You're scoring green, purple right there. You come in like a bat out of hell, but why are you not gaining? Did everybody else change into soft tires except for Frogs?
Yeah, everybody else is on the soft tires, so everybody's moving at the same pace now. And like the quality of driving with these top guys, we're all so close to the same times. And you have Natu is on another level, but I was just driving around at this point. I was just driving around.
If you're out there with the aliens, that makes you an alien, sir.
No, I always say that I'm stuck in the retractor beam on the way up to the alien ship. I'm somewhere in between there.
Well, be that as it may, you've just scored a 128.687. Those are crazy times.
That was good lap.
Yeah, doing a little bit of going down memory lane on Brands Hatch. And why is it such a staple in racing from its inception in 1954 as a racetrack? Because it had already started. People started racing in Brands Hatch as far back as 1926.
Oh,
not
wow.
cars. Yeah, it was like a marathon of bicycles and people running.
Crazy.
Joggers. Yes. And then around the 30s, I believe, or 40s, probably not the 40s because of the war restrictions, you wouldn't have been able to use extra tarmac that wasn't being used for, air bases. So I would probably guess that around 54 is when it was actually paved. And it has seen so many great races, so many. It's a venue that has so much history in it. Names like Jackie Stewart and Emerson Fittipaldi, Niki Lauda, James Hunt, all these bad boys of the long era of the last era, the early days, I'd say the 70s. Guys then like Mansell and Senna, just the great battles that you saw here. It was just amazing.
It is one of those tracks that's like, it's one of those iconic real race tracks. Hasn't been changed much. It's still a real track. You go off, you're going to hit a wall. It's not all these miles of sand traps to get caught up in. That's what I like about the real tracks. The real old tracks are where they still have that little bit of fear instilled in you,
Yeah, of course. And last night I was just inhaling. I was binging all these videos of old races in Brands Hatch, and it was just impressive how these guys, without the proper equipment, the safety regulations that we have today, these guys were just putting it out there.
Different breed of human being back then.
Yeah, well, bigger, thicker, stronger cojones.
Right?
I don't think
they were bubble wrap society.
Yeah, that's why I think that like my Generation X. That's why kids today suck, man. Because we were
we were the last of them, man. We were the last where we got our hands dirty, drank hose water, scraped our knees, came home when the street lights came on, kind of stuff,
Correct, man. I grew up in the 70s, and I was 3 by 1970. And I used to spend my summers down in Coral Gables here in Florida, South Florida, and we would just jump into lakes, and there was no alligator or flesh-eating bacteria. It was just a bunch of kids trying to pick up girls and prove who was the most daring one by going all the way into the bottom of the lake to touch the goo in the bottom. That's always their good thing. Yeah. So definitely different society, in my opinion, influenced by technology, but you can't stop technology.
No,
so,
you can't stop it.
As you come to Sterling, sir, lap 68, look at your front left tire, man. What's going on here?
The front left tire took an absolute beating in this race, and I've been working very hard on my tire saving abilities. Before I would have never, like last year I would have never been able to do this race. So tires would have been popped, I would have been crashed, it would have been game over. But since that Porsche Cup with Sharky and Jakey and these guys, I've had to step my game up and really pay attention to tire wear because these guys know what they're doing with it.
Because now you're 4. The tables have turned for Frogs. Unfortunately, he's 30 seconds behind you. You're 14 seconds behind Ando, who's another flying machine. And
Yep.
Jakey, my ex-teammate from Apex Racing, wonderful bunch of guys, respectable racers, all of them. And I know Jakey is an extremely dedicated driver. He's very concentrated, focused on what he's doing. So, I mean, Natu by that time has 23 seconds on you. Final lap. Talk to me.
Unbelievable from Natu with that drive. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I was so happy just to get a 4th. I was unfortunate to see Bipolar spin off and inherit me that 4th place, but I will take it. I was happy about that. But yeah, you know, that last lap is always that one where it's like, okay, thank God we made it. No penalties, no big moments, and
But
made a
your
decent
fuel,
finish.
1.4. Did you save at a certain time where you short shifted again?
I did save a little bit. I had my chat helping. I have a wonderful community that follows my channel that helped me with the fuel.
Oh yeah,
And,
please tell us what your channels are. What's your social media channels, man?
Social media, everything's Greasy Sam Squanch. So Instagram is Greasy Sam Squanch. Twitter is Greasy Sam Squanch. I don't use Twitter much, but yeah. And Facebook, I go by Joe Wenzel. I'll give everybody my real name.
Yeah, Joe, you definitely earned the day that in this competition. So, couple of things. Where did you get those wonderful gloves, man? Tell
Oh, those
everybody
gloves.
about them.
Well, those gloves are from a company. I love these gloves. They're from a company called Muradness, and it's a Canadian company. Muradness, yes. And it's a Canadian company. This guy, he's a real racer, Daniel Muradness, I believe his name is.
And what does he race in? Do you know?
He races sports cars, GT sports cars. He has actually been in the seat and won the 24 Hours of Daytona, I believe, and some other races. That's a big one. But yeah, him and his wife started this company of motorsport stuff. They sell sim racing socks, they got gloves, they got shirts, they got all sorts of stuff. But I saw those gloves pop up on my feed and I was like, I have to get them. Like, how could you say no to the car mat from when you're growing up, right? But I highly recommend the gloves. They're super comfortable, a little on the pricey side, but you can also get your name put on them as well. So I figured it's a Canadian company. I'm going to support it because I'm a Canadian.
Those are bragging rights, brother.
Yeah, but he actually has a channel too. He puts out some pretty funny shorts. He's had some shorts where he goes full force feedback and full force on his motion rig with Indy cars on Nürburgring and stuff like that. It's wild.
I'll ask our general manager and director of everything, Mr. Pixteca, who has put together HyPrix team and gave us the opportunity for this first episode of HyPrix HyLights to look it up and look up all these people, and we can definitely refer them. We're not petty. We want all streamers and everybody just to have a 10,000 gajillion with gajillion viewers, man, and followers, you know?
Let's go. Yeah, I'd love to go full time and make a career out of this because I've been forced out of my career as of almost 2 years now from my thumb. So if I could make YouTube full time, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, right. That's everybody's dream. That's what we're doing it here, you know, hustling a little bit with this while I keep watching again your fastest lap. That was an amazing work you did in this race. You started what was your grid position? I'm sorry.
I believe I started in 6th in that race.
Okay, so you bag yourself some points.
I got where I needed to be to stay within. I think I'm 4 points behind Sharky in 2nd place in the championship now, but it is so close. So close.
Yeah, and by coming behind you, he definitely lost some points that you took over. So our other hybrid guys, I believe Frogs came right Let's just see
I
the
think he
end
finished behind
result.
me there.
Yes, he finished behind you. Roses was 7. Bipolar was 9. Did not finish, unfortunately. But that's pretty much how the Hyper guys in Division 4 did. We are, of course, extremely grateful to have a team that can have 5 guys in Division 1. That's a big statement of the level that Hyper brings into sim racing. And now with you as part of the team, well, we're stoked. I'm waiting for an autograph from you someday. I'm not even kidding, man. I'm gonna have like those racing gloves signed by you.
There you go. Maybe we can work that. Maybe I'll give them away at some point, right? Do a
Yes, man.
giveaway.
That's a giveaway for that's a great one. Yeah.
So
So
first,
hey,
I gotta
expect
land a
them.
sponsor with these guys so they can start giving me gloves. They're $120 a pop. So
I know, I hear you, but hey, remember that's where we're going. So
you know
anyhow,
it.
any final words, Joe, Greasy, Sam
No, I
Square?
got nothing except for thank you to Hyprix for inviting me to join their team. It's exciting. It's a new adventure, and I'm loving it so far. I'm
Thank you very
ready for
much.
not ready for this weekend, but I will be.
You'll be, and I'm sure. What's your grid position? Your starting grid?
I have no idea what it is even. I finished
Oh,
that
they
race
haven't
in
posted it.
fourth, and I had a decent. I think it goes by the fastest lap for the last race, or your fastest lap in
Yeah,
the
so
last
you're
race. So
probably gonna be in the back. In the back.
it seems like I'm always kind of in the middle, but that one I did put down a pretty good time, so I could be closer to the back in this one, but I don't think they've released that yet. So we will
And
see.
where are you gonna be next week? Because we're definitely gonna have you back next week.
We are Nürburgring GP in the
Oh,
Aston Martin DB9 GR3.
that's an animal of that's a beast.
I took it
That's
out
a
on Daily C just to see how it drove, and Daily C around Spa, that thing is a dog.
I was
It
gonna
doesn't want
mention
to turn at all.
Spa, Saint Croix in any of its versions. That's a great car for Saint Croix.
Yeah,
Monza, but you're racing at the Nürburgring. There's
yeah.
some great.
My first thought was the Schumacher S is going up there is going to be should be interesting.
Yes, sir. It should right. Yeah, the one right in front of the big tower over there.
Hmm.
Right. Yep. So hey, we'll definitely do this next week. We'll definitely bring you back in. You're gonna become a staple in this show, whether you want it or not. That's what they didn't tell you when you joined Hyprix.
This is what I wanted when I joined a team. I wanted a team that was motivated to put stuff out there and get stuff done. That's what I was looking for, and that's what I found. So I'm happy about it. I'm
Well,
ready. Let's do this.
hey, your uncle's pick stack at Formula 1. Yours truly. Well, I'm making that happen for you and every
There you
other
go.
streamer in our team. Guys, don't be shy. We'll bring your stuff. We'll make you look great because you are already great. We're just giving you a window so people can see your greatness. So come on, guys, shake at that booty and send us your videos. Every high pre team racer out there, give us your videos, man, and we'll make the same thing we did with Greasy. I know Frogs is on vacations down by Mexico, so hey, whenever he's back, we'll do this as well. All right?
Sounds good.
Okay, man. Well, I guess this is a wrap. Thank you again to our sponsors, Simray City, the guys with the right gear for the right racing. Thank you, GT Champions World Cup, for letting us use their live feed. Thank you, Frogs, for bringing us your perspective. Greasy, I am honored to have had you here. Pixteca, thank you very much for the support. And we'll see you next week, guys.
Remember to keep it greasy.
Oh, yeah.